Before every academic break at St. Andrew's Sewanee School, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, spring break, or even summer, we gather here in our chapel for a service. And our final hymn is always, "God be with you till we meet again." The students, in a loud but lighthearted way, like to sing that last line at the top of their lungs. Of course, that is our prayer, that God will be with them until we meet again. It's an acknowledgement of the uncertainties of life and the challenges that we all may face while we're apart. Well, I don't think any of us could have anticipated the challenges that this pandemic is presenting. But I've thought about that song quietly many times in the last few weeks, and most of all in the last few days when I realized that what was supposed to be a 2-week break filled with rest and relaxation is now turning into a separation that'll stretch out for months. After all, we often talk about the beauty of the SAS campus, and it is beautiful. But much of the beauty comes from the energy that you, our students, bring to it. In other words, we're heartbroken to be here without you. I do want to take a moment and thank our faculty and staff who've worked so diligently through the break. They've been researching and assessing the situation that we're facing, and they've helped me think through the many questions that our community is going to ask. And they've also been taking care of the students that are still on campus and helping every student prepare for a hasty and unexpected return home. They've also been preparing us for distance learning, and they've worked hard to keep you and everyone else informed of our plans. In other words, I want you to know that your SAS team is doing everything they can to be sure that your education and our sense of community will continue despite the distance. Speaking of community, I've been pleased to see that even more than questions about class credits or belongings or finances, the most frequent question has been about our commencement ceremonies. I'm not surprised. It's an acknowledgement of the importance of these celebrations and, of course, the value that we place on being a community. I want you to know that next week our commencement committee will begin planning an alternate celebration. And while we don't yet know what's going to look like, we promise that even if this year's Honors Day, Annie's, and commencement are at first virtual, we promise that we will one day have the opportunity to sing with one voice about returning to these blue-green hills of earth. And we will celebrate being together again. And I can assure you, we'll be ringing the bells. Until then, we have much work to do. But never forget, you are loved. And our prayer continues to be lifted up. May God be with you till we meet again.